dangerous traps, designed in advance that keep you poor. Nobel Prize-winning economists Abhijit Banerjee and Esther Duflo are among the world's leading experts on poverty. To understand why people fall into poverty and how they can escape it, they spent 15 years studying poor communities across 18 countries and regions. Their findings showed that people often remain poor because they fall into a series of poverty traps. What's even more alarming is that many of these traps seem almost pre-designed to keep them stuck there. First, the trash can trap. Do you think poor people will spend carefully to get through hardship? In reality, they often spend more recklessly than the average person. Abhijit tells the story of Park, a farmer in Indonesia. Park was weak and unable to work to earn money, so he lived in constant poverty. But when Abhijit visited his home, he was shocked to see many items inside: a TV, a DVD player, a mobile phone, tea, coffee, and sugar. These luxury items were completely at odds with Park's poor life. In slums, many people are like Park. They are willing to risk eviction for failing to pay rent just to buy a 62-inch television. They will eat instant noodles for 29 days just to afford one lobster feast. Or they will buy anti-wrinkle cream but endure freezing cold because they can't pay for heating. No matter how much you advise them, many poor people cannot resist the temptation to spend. When they get a little money, they lack the ability to delay instant gratification, and so they fall into consumption traps designed by producers. Recently, shopping malls have made enormous profits during holidays, and flower shops stay endlessly busy. But right after the holidays, trash bins overflow with abandoned items: fresh flowers, stuffed animals, lipstick, perfume. These trash can traps are everywhere in life. Have you noticed that nearly every holiday is turned by businesses into an excuse to push shopping? You watch a few short videos and, without realizing it, you've placed a few orders. You think you'll save on Singles' Day, but you end up adding more things to your cart that were never in your plan. Manufacturers are extremely skilled at creating three things. First, creating needs out of thin air. Second, dividing social status through consumer goods. Third, finding ways to speed up your consumption. From the first milk tea of autumn, to a trip you put on debt for yourself, to a once-in-a-lifetime luxury wedding, producers are always trying to drain your wallet. When you follow trends without realizing it, that's the moment you begin walking toward poverty. Second, the pleasure trap. In the 1990s, as labor productivity rose and competition became fiercer, the wealth gap and social polarization in the United States became major issues. To prevent the poor from causing unrest, U.S. National Security Advisor Zbigniew Brzezinski proposed the theory of Tittytainment, the idea of keeping the disadvantaged entertained into numbness. He believed that you could give the 80% on the margins of society a nipple, a metaphor for constant, instantly satisfying entertainment. This could include pornography, video games, or mass entertainment like TV dramas, reality shows, and so on. As long as you keep feeding the poor continuous pleasure, they will get pulled in, sink into it, and become unable to escape, stuck forever at the bottom of society. Have you ever felt this? You sit in a library to study, and before long you feel restless. You can't help pulling out your phone to play a few rounds of a game. Or you start working, and soon you're drawn into short videos, scrolling for an hour without noticing. And just like that, you lose focus and your precious time. Time and attention are the most valuable assets in this era. While we are being pulled into screens, computers, and TVs, the wealthy are gradually stepping away from online life. Before we go deeper, don't forget to follow the channel to learn more truths about money and help yourself reach financial freedom faster. Wealth Strategy Secrets greets you. Steve Jobs, Apple's founder, limited the use of technology products for his children at home. Game designers also stay away from games like World of Warcraft. Many leaders in Silicon Valley, after work, never touch electronic devices. Psychologist Adam Alter bluntly shared that people who produce high-tech products follow the #1 rule of drug dealers. They never get addicted to their own product, because those at the top of society understand better than anyone. Sinking into short-term pleasure leads to only one ending: amusing yourself to death. Third, the rat race trap. In a small town in California, there was a young man who loved writing and was determined to become a famous novelist. Every day he wrote, never missing a chance. But book sales were not going well. He went to church and asked the priest, "Why do I write day and night, yet my work makes no progress?" The priest didn't answer immediately. He asked instead, "What do you do in the morning?" The young man replied, "I write novels." The priest asked, "What about noon?" "Still writing novels." The priest continued, "And the afternoon?" At that point, the young man grew impatient. "I spend the entire day, except eating and sleeping, writing novels." The priest said, "Then when do you spend time thinking?" This young man was like a mouse running on a wheel, struggling desperately to reach a piece of cheese hanging above, but in the end only spinning in place, never arriving. Working hard, suffering, yet results never match expectations. Day after day, repeating the same busyness, like running on an endless track of rats, pulled into poverty's whirlpool. The busier you are, the poorer you become. The poorer you become, the busier you are. There's a line that tastes bitter. If being busy alone created wealth, then the richest creature in the world today would be a donkey turning a millstone. What makes your work valuable is not how busy you are, but how deep your thinking is. The author Li Shanglong once taught at New Oriental. After working for a while, he asked leadership for permission not to teach on weekends and evenings, even though it meant his monthly income would drop by 4,000 to 5,000 yuan. While colleagues stayed busy tutoring to earn more, Li stayed home reading, watching films, reflecting, and writing. When the education and training industry declined, many colleagues either became unemployed or had to change careers. But Li had prepared in advance. He found a new direction, started a company, wrote books, and earned millions each year. Li was busy, but not with useless busyness. He concluded, "No matter how busy you are, you must carve out time to think, whether there is a better road, a fresher direction. If you keep your head down in work and forget to look up at the sky, you can easily fall into the pit of poverty." A person who is too busy with trivial matters and too lazy to think will inevitably sink into mediocrity. Learning new knowledge, improving skills, planning a long-term career, and escaping low-quality effort. These are the keys to breaking life's vicious cycle. Fourth, the Shawshank Trap. Recently, I rewatched the classic film The Shawshank Redemption and felt moved by the fate of the character Brooks. This film is not only a touching story about hope and perseverance, it also reveals a human paradox few people notice. Brooks, the prison librarian, had served more than 50 years. Every day he did simple work, pushing a cart of books, recording borrowers' names. The job was light and stable. It gave Brooks a sense of satisfaction, as if he had found meaning and value in life. But that satisfaction became an invisible shackle. He saw the job as a lifelong career and never thought about leaving it, until the day he was released. When he stepped outside, the world became unfamiliar and terrifying. The busy traffic frightened him. Skyscrapers suffocated him. The modern world had changed far too fast compared to the confined life he was used to. When he was assigned to work in a supermarket, things got even worse. His slow movements due to age drew complaints from customers. He lived under stress and couldn't sleep at night. In the end, Brooks couldn't bear it and chose to end his life just 1 year after being freed. This is the true face of the Shawshank Trap. People who grow used to constraint and dependence can feel unable to adapt once they enter freedom. There is a famous line in the film, "At first you hate the walls around you, then you get used to living within them." and finally you realize you need them to survive. That line exposes the essence of the Shawshank trap. We often don't realize we are stuck in a safe, comfortable zone until we lose the ability to face change and challenge in real life. These invisible prisons are everywhere. They might be a stable job that slowly kills your ambition, or a skill you rely on for so long that your emotions go numb. Over time, you accept it, even feel satisfied with the comfort. But once a small change happens, you discover how weak you are, how little strength you have to withstand volatility. The wall that once made you feel safe becomes a cage that locks you in. An old saying goes, "Change brings flow. No change brings stagnation. Change brings prosperity. No change brings decline. Change brings life. No change brings death." It emphasizes the importance of transformation. Only by changing can we adapt to a volatile world and face challenges with stability. So we must stay alert to the Shawshank trap. We must step out of our comfort zone, dare to accept new challenges, learn new skills, expand our limits. Only then can we escape being imprisoned by comfort and keep moving forward on life's road. Remember, on the other side of the comfort zone is the danger zone. When we depend too much on an easy, comfortable state, we don't realize we are losing the ability to handle change. So, stay curious, stay passionate about learning, dare to try new things, and keep challenging yourself. If you feel you are falling into a trap like Shawshank, try stepping outside. The outside world may feel unfamiliar, even frightening. But believe this, that discomfort and fear are signs of growth. Every challenge is an opportunity to develop. Every change can bring unexpected outcomes. Let's look at a study from Boston University. Boston University once conducted a very simple but extremely interesting experiment revealing an important principle about behavior change. Participants were told to set an alarm for 6 o'clock a.m., but they were split into two groups. Group 1 had to place the alarm clock on a desk. Group 2 had to place it right beside the bed. This tiny difference produced completely different results. After 2 weeks, the outcome was surprising. Most people in Group 1 formed the habit of waking up early, while Group 2 almost didn't change their average wake-up time. This reveals a key psychological principle. When an alarm rings, people reflexively shut it off and keep sleeping. But if the alarm is far away, they must leave the warm bed. That single action is enough to break inertia and help them start a new day. This experiment connects to the Shawshank trap because both point to the same truth. Sinking into comfort does not create growth. If we don't step outside the comfort zone, we will stay stuck in place. Even if change comes with discomfort, as long as we take one crucial step, we can continuously renew ourselves and move toward a better version of who we are. This experiment also shows that change doesn't always require iron will or dramatic moves. Sometimes, by cleverly designing your environment, you can make change easier, like creating a small obstacle that forces you to leave comfort and begin new challenges. However, relying only on external environment changes is not enough. We also need a positive mindset and good habits. As Zheng Guofeng said, 100 illnesses are born from laziness. Laziness is the greatest enemy blocking our growth and progress. A person doesn't need to fear lack of talent, lack of opportunity, or lack of helpful mentors. Only fear their own laziness. Because once someone becomes lazy, no one can help them stand up again. They imprison themselves in an even larger Sang trap, locked inside their own small world. Zheng also said, "A ruined family can't let go of luxury. A ruined person can't let go of greed. A hated person can't let go of arrogance." These words deeply reveal the damage laziness does to a life. If you get used to laziness, doing nothing, or doing everything superficially, then in a short time the habit becomes natural. You stop growing voluntarily. You may not even know what you are suited to do. Life becomes more and more blurry, and anxiety and pain increase. Even when many people recognize the problem, they still cannot change. Because giving up laziness, working harder, or facing tasks that don't bring immediate results often scares them and triggers resistance. They fear failure. They fear facing harsh reality. As educator and writer Makarenko once said, laziness is the root of all sins. Be lazy once and you can lose a lifetime. The lazier a person becomes, the more they cannot mature. It's like someone who never receives energy from outside, only continuously consumes themselves. Before long, they feel exhausted, disappointed, in pain, even desperate. Once you get used to laziness, it's like borrowing from life. You borrow more and more until you cannot repay it. As painter Xu Beihong said, laziness is an expensive luxury. When the bill comes due, you will not be able to pay. So give up laziness quickly so you can stay far away from poverty and helplessness. Only then can we truly control ourselves and take charge of life. Beyond overcoming laziness, we must raise our thinking. True long-term vision gives people broader perspective and deeper stature. People like this are willing to support others and sacrifice for the greater good. In the end, they not only earn love from others, they also win their own lives. On the other hand, those who cannot stand seeing others succeed are actually rejecting growth. They waste their energy and spirit. Their vision is narrow, their thinking shallow, their psychology childish. They not only refuse to improve, they want to drag others down. They prefer to make trouble, and they play dirty. Only when a person breaks out of lower-class thinking, stopping shallow behavior, stopping short-term action, can they slowly unlock their potential and focus on self-cultivation. This is a long, difficult process. It requires constant effort and persistence, like carving a delicate work of art. We must carefully polish every aspect of ourselves, accumulating knowledge, improving skills, developing wisdom, and building character. Only when we devote ourselves fully to self-improvement will we see progress and growth over time. We will realize our vision expands. Opportunities and possibilities that once were invisible become clear. Our understanding of the world grows deeper, and our attitude toward life becomes more generous. This transformation not only helps us seize opportunities and move toward success, it also ensures we never forget our original purpose and that we know how to help others. People with real stature see farther than others, think more thoroughly, and act more deeply. They don't let temporary gains and losses control their emotions, and they aren't easily shaken by others. Instead, they keep a higher, more complete viewpoint to deal with everything. Long-range vision helps them make wiser decisions, and their actions naturally win people's hearts. They aren't discouraged by temporary failure, nor blinded by short-lived success. They stay calm and rational, evaluating everything from a higher level. As someone once said, when your vision becomes wider, your troubles become fewer. When your heart becomes vast, the road opens. When your stature grows big enough, problems disappear. When our minds become larger, small worries no longer disturb us. When our stature grows, problems that once felt impossible become tiny. This shift in mindset not only keeps us away from poor habits and poor thinking, it also makes our lives richer. We go farther, climb higher, and live with more strength. We are no longer limited by narrow vision. We can show our talents in a bigger world. It's worth emphasizing poverty is not a destiny carved in stone. It is more like a psychological state, a result of how we think. No one is born destined to live in poverty unless they choose it. When we actively escape poverty traps, when we leave behind thinking patterns and behavior habits that suppress our growth, we open the road to our own prosperity and freedom. This process is not easy. Like Group 1 in the Boston University experiment, we may need extra effort and discomfort. But those small changes and that persistence will ultimately bring major transformation. Every morning we defeat laziness. Every night we persist in learning. Every time we overcome hardship, we are storing energy for the future. Remember, change begins in the mind, and success arrives through action. When we start changing how we think, expanding our vision, and taking action, we begin the journey towards success and prosperity. It may be full of challenges, but it is also full of opportunity and potential. Every step forward is the best investment you can make in yourself. I hope you and I can both stay far away from lower-class thinking. Embrace a wider vision on the road of life. Go farther, live brightly, and finally turn our ideals and aspirations into reality.